Hi boys and girls, this is Mrs. Mouton, and I'm going to take you through the presentation 4.4b, Steps to Long Multiplication. This is similar to the presentation we did in class, but it has changed just a little bit, so watch carefully. Learning to multiply with more than one digit is really easy. Remember, we've already mastered learning to multiply two digits by one digit, and you're all very good at it. So this should be easy because all we're going to do is change this into a 2 by 1. But how do we do that? This may look difficult right now, but if we cover the 1 in 12, it looks much more familiar. It looks like a 2-digit by 1-digit, and that's going to help us to walk through it because we're going to walk through the same exact steps you would use as if you were multiplying a 2 by 1. First, we start in the ones place. We multiply the bottom ones times the top ones, which would be 2 times 5, which equals 10. Remember, when you get that 2-digit answer, write it down so that you can see those 2 digits. Take the number that's to the right, the digit, I should say, that's to the right, and write it down. Then take the digit that's to the left and move it one space to the left. So the digit that's to the right is a 0. We write it down. The digit that's to the left is the 1. We move it one place value to the left. We were in the ones place multiplying, so now we move it over to the tens place. And next, you multiply the bottom ones times the top tens, which is 2 times 2, which equals 4. Remember, we say go bottoms up from the bottom to the top, so that you remember in that last step you have to add the number that we carried or regrouped. So 2 times 2 is 4, plus 1 gives you the answer of 5. And you can just write it right down there because it's a one-digit number. Next, we've multiplied by all the digits in the ones place on the bottom by all of the digits on the top. So now we can move over. Remember, all we're doing is separating them and multiplying the place value separately to make it easier so that we're only working with one digit on the bottom at a time. So we just move that cover over, but before we can do that, we need to do something special so that we don't make any mistakes when we start multiplying by the tens place. Remember, we need to clean our house and make Mama happy. So, it sounds funny, but it will help to make sure that we don't use that 1 that we regrouped from the 2 times 5 is 10 again, because we've already used it. We already added it to the 4 and made that 4 5. So, it's already finished. So, to clean your house, all you need to do is cross out the number that you regrouped. That way, when you come down here to multiply by the tens place, you won't accidentally use it again. And that makes Mama happy. Mama is the 0, that's the placeholder, because now we're going to multiply by the tens place. And we have to put a placeholder in the ones place so we can start multiplying by the tens place. Because remember, we're not really multiplying by 1 here. We're actually multiplying by 10 because it's 1 10. Now we can start again. 1 times 5 equals 5. Again, we cover that 2 there so we can't see it. And then we multiply the bottom ones times the bottom 10, times the top ones. 1 times 5 equals 5. Write your answer down there because you didn't have to regroup. So we can write it right next to Mama because it's a single digit and there's nothing to carry. Next, we multiply the bottom tens by the top tens. So 1 times 2 is 2. Again, we can write this down because it's a one-digit number. There's nothing to regroup. The only thing left for us to do now is to add our products together. Sorry, it's hiding a little bit there. Add our products together. because we've multiplied by the ones place here, everything multiplied by 2, and the tens place here, everything multiplied by the 1. Now we have to put our ones and tens back together by adding. 0 plus 0 is 0. 5 plus 5 is 10. Again, we follow the same normal rules of addition that we've always done. We can only have 9 in there because we're working on base 10. So once we reach that 10, we put down the 0 and regroup the 1 because 5 plus 5 is 10. Now we have a 2 in the hundreds place. 2 plus the 1 we regrouped makes 3. So our answer is 300. Let's try another one. 45 times 16. What do we do first? Change it into a 2 by 1. So cover up that digit in the tens place because we always start in the ones column, so we're going to multiply by the digit in the ones columns first. Bottoms up, 6 times 5 is 30. Write down the digit to the right, which is the 0, and regroup the digit to the left, one place value place to the left, which is the 3. I will put the little addition sign next to it to help me remember what I'm going to be doing with that digit when I get there. Now I multiply 6 times 4, bottoms up, that equals 24. But I can't just write down my 24 because remember there's that 3 that I regrouped, so I have to add it to the 24. And 24 plus 3 gives me 27. I write down the digit that's to the right, which is a 7. And I'm actually regrouping the digit that's to the left one place value over. We were in the tens place, so we're going to move over here to the hundreds place. But since there are no digits, I can just bring it straight down into my answer. Now we've multiplied everything times the ones place on the bottom. So we're going to clean the house and make Mama happy. And that brings us to moving our place over, or our cover over, so that we're now multiplying by the tens place. Remember, that's the whole point of Mama too. She's holding this place value here because we're not really multiplying by a 1 because it's a 1 and a 0. Now we're multiplying by 10. It's a 1 in the tens place value. So now we're going to start with 1 times 5, which equals 5. It's just a single digit number, so we can put it down here, nothing to regroup. 1 times 4 is 4. Again, a single digit number, so we can just put it down in our answer. And then we remember these are all the answers that represented what we got when we multiplied by the digit that was in the ones place here. These are all the answers or products that we got when we multiplied by the digit that was in the tens place. We took them apart from each other, so now we have to put them back together by what, math ninjas? Adding. 0 plus 0 is 0. 7 plus 5 is 12. We write down the 2 again. The regular rules of addition apply, so we regroup that 1 up there into the next column. Move it 1 to the left, place value wise. 4 plus 2 is 6, plus the 1 you regrouped makes 7. 720 is your answer. 720. Now I need to see if you can manage these problems on your own. So let's try a 2-digit by 2-digit. Let's see if you remember the steps to solving this problem. If you don't, now would be the time to go back and look at your notes. But remember, once we have our test, that you won't be able to use your notes. Also, at this point, I am allowing you to use your multiplication chart because many of you have not mastered your facts yet. You won't always be able to do that, so the sooner you master your facts, the easier it's going to be for you. But at this point, while you're trying to learn the algorithm, please feel free to use your multiplication chart to help take that little step out of having to find those answers to those multiplication facts. Remember, you can also alternatively use an array or repeated addition to find it. But the best thing you're going to be able to do for yourself, and what's going to make it really easy for you to master this skill, is if you commit your facts to memory. Memorize them from 0 all the way to 12 times 12. You need to have those facts down so you can say them quickly, because we're going to be rolling along really quickly with multiplication, and long division is coming next. So I hope this video helped. Send me your answer on Edmodo, and I will see you in class.